What's up? Back with another video about Sumerian tablets versus the Holy Bible. Alright. So, well, first let me explain what led me to reading the Sumerian tablets, the Earth Chronicles. First, I have a group of spiritual friends. I have my own spiritual clique. I call ourselves the Tsunami Rebellion because we take a lot of our cues from anime and Toonami, of course. And I myself, if you guys first remember Toonami, it wasn't just an anime block when it first came out. It was just action cartoons that had something to do with space. So anyways, a lot of my friends see me as this new age guru. So my friend Tomas, shout outs to him, he kept asking me about the reptilians, and by this time I had read David Icke's book, The Biggest Secret, and man, I tell you guys, I recommend you reading that book, because that book blew my mind. So I read the book. Also, I had read the Palladian Agenda. This is 2015, which again I highly recommend reading that, by Barbara Handglow. And another reason why in my other videos I say I recommend reading the books instead of getting everything from YouTube videos, because there was YouTube videos saying that the Anunnaki weren't reptilians, and then there was so the books were telling me they are, and the YouTube videos were saying no. And I was just like, wait, what? It's confusing me. And overall, it just makes more sense that the Anunnaki are reptilians. There's some sources that the Draconian reptilians are fighting the Anunnaki for control of the Earth. That is true to some consent, but yeah, the Anunnaki are reptilians. But I was reading sources online, and again, he kept asking me, and I was just like, what's going on? So you know what? Let me just read the Sumerian tablets. I guess so. I bought the first book of the Earth Chronicles. Eventually, bought all of them. It's a very fascinating story, especially with knowledge of the history of the Earth. I was a neo-pagan, like I said, by this time, like my second year, of getting into that. But so in the middle of that summer, at the end of that summer, I forgot when exactly where I bought it, but the bookstore, Barnes and Nobles, had it. So I read it, and I was like, oh my god, this is fascinating stuff. And so let's get to it. The Bible calls the Anunnaki the Nephilim and the fallen angels. It's the same stories, similar stories, but the Sumerian tablets, Sumeria is what we call Iraq now, and it's the first civilization and the first spiritual religion kind of thing on Earth, New Age, Neo-Pagan, whatever. even before Hinduism. It's before all of that. Even though it does get its credit, Sumerian does get credit for being the first civilization created, and Atlantis is before that, but they don't give credit to Atlantis because they claim that Atlantis, they still don't know if it exists, really did, but it existed. It's just, the powers to be, which we are going to talk about now, keeping that under wraps as much as they do aliens. So it goes, the Anunnaki, to the Bible readers, it's the Nephilim, the fallen angels. They came from a planet called Nibiru. Others call Nibiru Planet X, X-Men. Came down, God, well, first, before the Earth was even created, there was a dragon goddess named Tiamat, and long story short, fought her great grandson Marduk. Marduk's slays his grandmother, and the body of Earth, it used to be called Tiamat, Planet Tiamat. The body of Tiamat becomes the land we walk on Earth. So yeah, they fought in space or whatever. So every step we take on this planet, it was walking on the body of what used to be this huge alien dragon named Tiamat. Yeah, long story short, she was cool at first, then became evil over her husband being put in a deep sleep, as the story goes. Bear with me. It's been a while since I read these stories. I do have them at home, so if anybody that knows me, you want to borrow them, I have all the books. Just say when. Come on down. Okay. But anyways, so get to the Earth, past the tons of Atlantis, or sorta. I'll get to that. So Marduk's father, Enki, comes down to Earth and lands in Africa and finds gold. Some people say it's monotonic gold, some people say it's gold, regular gold. Gold apparently has some metaphysical properties that is very essential to even more longevity to the Anunnaki. And this, they needed it for their planet or whatever. There's different versions of the story, so and I've read different versions, so again, try to bear with me on this. But anyways, he goes back home, Planet X, and tells his father, King Anu, and he comes back with more members of the Anunnaki reptilians. So they come to mine the gold, and Enki's working them. He's working them like he's like, they're being overworked, and they complain and they're like, "Yo, we're not doing this anymore. This is too much. We're out of here." So they go back, and King Anu actually agrees with them, and so Enki is left with the responsibility of creating something to mine the gold. And depending on who you ask, some say this is where elemental spirits were created. Your fairies, your elves, your unicorns. So some stories say that there was earthly reptilians, and that a reptilian race that was already on the planet. And Enki scared them away, fought them, beat them up, bullied them, whatever. Again, it depends on who you ask. I think I got that part from David Icke. So yeah, this is after, I guess, I'm not sure where Atlantis comes in and all this, but because apparently in Atlantis they've already been on Earth. Thoth is an Atlantean, and he's one of Enki's other sons. And Enki, Poseidon, or Enki's a water god, But anyways, jumping ahead, he's foam, obviously, because he's Thoth's father. So apparently they were already on. Enki's side of this family have already been on Earth, but yeah. So he finally sees a Homo erectus, and uses that and creates the Homo sapien, us. He creates the Adamu. Okay, it's just Adam with a U. Okay, and from his ribs creates Eve. It's the same story. It's just that it's a little bit altered when the Bible creates their version of the story. So there was a part before they created Eve where they take Adam into space. Some sources say he goes to the Orion star system to create humans. I think they were also saying that the Orions, it's another alien race that helped seeded mankind. But anyways, interesting fact, the mother goddess, Ninsur Sag, I'm not sure if I pronounced her name, probably didn't, helped Enki create humans. Her nickname was Mom, or Mother. This is how we get the name Mother. This is where it comes from. So some cultures, because there's other cultures and countries, this is not the only story where we humans were created by the star people. So this is not the only story of that. This is just the original story. So eventually come back to Earth with Adam and more. They create more humans, and eventually the other Anunnaki come down as well, and they see these humans that, especially female humans, that ooze sex appeal. Okay. Yes. So they intermingle with humans to create another race, well, not another race, but a hybrid race, which eventually become the new world order that um, controls us today. So Enki's remember mentioning King Anu. Enki is his half son. Enel is Enki's brother. Enel comes down and he's like, no, this is ridiculous. He really does not like humans. What humans are, the whole thing of God created us through his image, and the Sumerian tablets also confirm that we black people are the first humans. So all they are is me, kind of like me, and they're just bigger versions of us humans. That's all the Anunnaki are. But for some reason, Enel comes. He's the God that a lot of Christians call him Yahweh. No way, Yahweh. So he doesn't like humans, and he knows that something's going to happen, that the flood's going to happen. Some people say that it is Atlantis. He also some people also say that he's putting up a storm because and Enel becomes Zeus. Remember talking about in the last video, these gods become other gods in other cultures, just with different names. But Poseidon's also is able to do storms as well. But anyways, they know a storm's coming. Whether it was the fall of Atlantis is causing it, and it's going to not storm, a flood. They know it's going to happen, and they said the humans must stay and perish. And us Anunnaki, we got to get out of here and let fate take them out. Let this flood take them out. So Enki does not want to do that. Enki gives a chip to his son. In the Bible, they have him as in the Bible they have Noah as God's disciple, but in the original story, Enki gives Zeusandra, that's Noah's original name, a chip, computer chip, because hence, remember, they're aliens. They're an alien race. What they say about aliens, they have a more advanced technology than we do. So, gives them the chip. There's actually a hieroglyphic of this, where he's giving them the chip, and you see the bottom part of Enki is a snake form. And so he's shifted into a reptilian. Reptilians don't like to reveal that they're reptilian to us. I think from day one, they hide that from us. So you see like a platform between Enki and Zeusandra. If I remember correctly, you see the bottom half, Enki, he's the snake form. So he gives him this chip. The chip tells Zeusandra to create a boat, a huge boat, an ark. And it's not this whole thing getting all these two members of animals. No, that's not. He gets other humans to it's not just his family either. He gets other humans to, hey, there's going to be a flood. Let's get on this boat. This is our ticket to survive. So, and I believe flood happens. Humans survive. Not every human was in there, obviously. So, after the flood, I believe the boat or ark is destroyed. This is why in the Bible they don't know what happened to the boat. Like, it's still, so that's why this story has people still looking for this ark. Every time they think they find the ark or pieces of it, they do the research and counting how old it is, and it's not enough. It has to be at least 200,000 years older, and I think the last one that they thought they found was only 1400. So, that's why we're still looking for something that's not there no more. So plus other stories of giant flood stories. This is not the only story of it from the Bible and Sumerian tablets, but Sumer tablets is the original story of it. So, anyways, Enel gets back with the other Anunnaki, and he is pissed. It's like they were supposed to perish, this and that. So along with the fact that Enel came to Earth and took over, because Enel is a full blood of royalty to King Anu, so that gave Enel a more power over Enki because of bloodline. Sounds familiar from what I was saying about the presidents and the royals. Why only royalty bloodline is, why presidents are selected to become presidents, because of the blood. Same thing. So that's the first thing that drove a rift between Enki and Enel. The second was Enel is pissed at Enki now because, hey, these humans were supposed to, and that's not what happened. They're still here. What's up? So it leads to a big fight between Enki and Enel side. So you have one side Enki, Thoth, Marduk, and the other side you have Enel, Inanna, so it spills over to the war of the gods. And also you have humans fighting as well. There's humans called the Enkidites on Enki sides, and Enelites, I think that's what they were called, fighting for Enel. So Enel's an asshole. And Enel used to kill his men for no reason, just because he had the power to. So, and again, he already didn't like humans. So, Inanna used to have sex with the humans and then kill them after. So that side is perceived as the bad side, just from those acts alone. So the prototype to the Jesus story and the prototype to the Romeo and Juliet are in, this when Marduk accidentally kills his brother Dumanzi, who was in love with Inanna, by accident. He was trying to stop, it's kind of a Romeo and Juliet kind of thing. And King Anu punishes, Egypt had been created by then, and he punishes Marduk and puts him under one of the pyramids, and leaves him there, says this is his punishment. And after the third day, he risen, and he lets Marduk out, and Marduk rises, which is the prototype to the Jesus story. So eventually the brothers come to a truce, and they leave behind the offsprings of the intermingling of the reptilians or Anunnaki, fallen angels, and humans behind the offspring, which then become the New World Order, Illuminati. So some people say they think they're related, some people say they are, whatever, but this is how this happened. And some say that some of the Egyptian, the Rothschild's bloodline goes, far back. Say Hitler was Rothschild. You know, something in Egypt that they said that they were part of the bloodline too. But you'd be surprised at who's related to who. Even some of the celebrities today, they say Madonna is also related to them, and trying to remember, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie are also part of the bloodline, related to all the presidents, and so when they were married together, they were on opposite sides of the bloodline, but that's how that happens. So there's so let's talk about how I mentioned Marduk being the precursor to the Jesus story. So some people, the whole thing with the Bible, Enki, the one that created humans, and it makes sense that he creates humans because he is the water god. Enki becomes Poseidon, he becomes Neptune, in Egypt he becomes Ptah. Egypt is not, it's a desert, so he's not a water god there, but he is a creator god, and he's a Ptah. So the whole Son of God thing, it's a lot to cover. But if Marduk, what happens to him, and he rises up again, and Jesus is the Son of God in the Christian mythology, I forgot to mention the whole Marduk risen. This is how he becomes Amun-Ra. I believe I covered that in another video. Well, that's why he called Amun-Ra. Amen, or Amen, actually means hidden. So Amun-Ra, hidden Ra. So he was hidden. That's how he got that name. So Enel is also Zeus and Jupiter, and Poseidon, Zeus. I'm sorry, yeah. Enel is also Zeus, Jupiter. So Jupiter and Poseidon were brothers. Neptune and Jupiter were brothers. Same thing. And Enki and Enel, they're brothers. So there's other books that covers this Sumerian tablets. The Earth Chronicles in the 70s was founded by and written by a Christian scholar named Zachariah Ascension. And this is a fascinating story that a Christian found. He was a Christian scholar from Russia, I believe. So that makes you think, like, oh my God, a Christian. And I know when I post this, the Christian crowd is just not gonna accept it, But I mean, maybe I shouldn't say accept it, but they're just gonna be like, if you deal with them, you know how they are. But I'm going to later get to why this most likely is true, but besides the fact that it came before the Bible. But yeah, Inanna later becomes Athena. Nitzur Sag becomes the mother goddess, right, as I mentioned before. So she's in the Bible Mother Mary. In Egypt, she's Isis. She's also the moon goddesses. In Asia, she's Kuan Yin. In Asia, in all over the world, there's stories of star people coming down, or reptilian race, star aliens, star race coming down and seeding mankind. And China actually gives, I think it's China and other parts of Asia, actually gives the mother goddess credit for creating mankind, which makes sense because mother, we're all born from women, so it's very interesting stuff. I let people borrow the books and they cannot put it down, but anyways, it just makes you think, there's other translations, or not other translations, there's other books where they include the Bible, so they go back to saying Thoth, Enki's other son, as what's that guy's name? Can't think of his name. Parting the Red Sea guy, Moses. See, the Red Sea, they say Moses is Thoth, and they also put it as basically every story of the Bible is just another telling of the rest of the stories of the Bible is another telling of the events that unfolded during the time the Anunnaki and the gods, the reptilians were on Earth. Thoth is also Quetzalcoatl, and another in Quetzalcoatl in Aztec, and he's another god in Mayan. I forgot the name of it. He's also a creator god. He also has the knowledge to create humans. So they say he created some humans too, especially with the Mayan part of the world. So it's just, but they also say in Atlantis that Thoth was already here, and he had been here before. He just didn't find gold. Like Enki was the one that found gold. So it's just very interesting stuff. What's that Bible story of John wrestling with angels? So they, like as I said in my other videos about reptilians being benevolent. Reptilians are angels. The benevolent ones are the devil or the demons, whatever. They, their stories, they continue that on there. So basically they're saying that reptilians and angels, the benevolent ones are the angels, and they continue it even further. I'll try to find the title of that. I have the book, but, so in that book, they say Yahweh is actually, some people say Yahweh is strictly Enel or Zeus or Jupiter, that Enel is Zeus. Some people say Yahweh is Enki and Enel put together. So that is up in the air. I say Enel is Yahweh, and Allah, and Jehovah. That's another one. While Enki, and there's discussion about Enki. David Icke says Enki is, Enki has created us, and he wanted us for himself, to slave us for himself. So I believe Enki's the good guy, but some people believe that if he had his way, we would have still been in the same predicament, just under his control only. So they're basically saying he's still a douchebag, So I did some channelings, and he helped me with magic in my channeling, working with him. But if you are a neo-pagan, and actually, no, I'm going to say I recommend all New Agers read the Sumerian tablets, get the Earth Chronicles, because it's good to know which deities you are summoning to help you with your magical work, or prayers or whatever. Because at Atlantis standpoint, they also the Ascended Masters. So, like I said in my other videos, I'm a New Ager, but also I side with the Neo-Pagan side as well. So I don't know what to call myself. I'm trying to come up with a term for myself that's like I'm on equal footing with both sides, and I confirm what one side refuses to confirm about, the beliefs of the other side. For example, Ascended Masters are actually the pagan gods, or the Anunnaki, and how especially the New Agers that came from a Christian or Catholic background still has the fact that they still have the belief that spells are evil downloaded into their head. But really, prayers are spells. And Neo-Pagan side accepts that part, but the New Age side that doesn't, that has that part, Christian Catholic part, downloaded into their brain, still doesn't accept that. So I remember mentioning Saturn. You don't want to summon him, especially King Anu. He is Saturn. Okay, and we grew up in society. We've all sat on his lap. So you take Saturn, okay? Take off the robe, put on red and white attire, give him a little Christmas hat. He's now Santa. Okay? You take the N after the first A, you put it behind the second A. Santa is now Satan. Satanic. Satan. Saint Nicholas. That's how I was going to get through my doing my last video, but I said no, I'll save it to this video because I'm revealing the how they trace the gods, and how in different cultures which god is which, and Saturn, Cronus, those are King Anu. Those are other names of King Anu. All right, so is Santa, so is Satan, so is the devil, Lucifer. So there are some sites that are even saying the big secret of the Bible is that the devil is God. It's their God, because some people give King Anu credit of being Yahweh, and Enel, Jesus, Son of God, so just You know, it's just crazy stuff. Studying this, and you really find out, like I said, most likely Christianity is a New World Order controlled religion, mainstream religion. New World Order controls mainstream. What's Christianity? A mainstream religion. Religion is also another way to keep people in line. Don't do this or this will happen. Don't do this, you'll go to hell. It's another way of doing that. All right. So now let's get to the final point. What makes the Sumerian tablets? What makes it possibly true that the Bible might not be? Well, the Bible does deserve credit because they've, in a prediction standpoint, they deserve credit because, like, the whole thing with drugs getting worse, okay, it was right on that. I think stuff about Mark of the Beast, the pandemic that's happening right now, I think they were right about that, but the other stuff, like the stories, those are just altered versions of the Sumerian tablets. Okay, so what makes the Sumerian tablets possibly more true than the Bible? Well, Sumerian tablets, there's a tablet or hieroglyphic where it is shown that 7 planets of our solar system is there. The Sumerians knew what we had to relearn as a society before they invented the telescope. They already knew that there were 7 planets. They already knew the Earth was round. They already knew about stuff that we had to relearn. Telling you that beings from another worlds came down and gave them this information, because otherwise, how would they know about this? Telescope wasn't. We also, there were some technologies like the computer that humans have seen thanks to the Anunnaki. Again, aliens are more advanced than we are in technology. So, technology that existed thousands of years, but we're just like, oh my God, in the year 1900, these are just coming out. No, a lot of the stuff was already here, and these tablets show that, and also shows that aliens are real. These are possibly proof that aliens exist. No, it is proof. How is that possible? We had to relearn this. They already knew. All right. That's what makes this more credible than the Bible. All right. And it's funny when a lot of people make fun of Christians because when you tell them something and there's proof of it and they still try telling this to an atheist. The atheist becomes like the Christians, and the funny part about it is when atheists debunk something, they use logic. Well, logically, aliens are real because this tablet that is proved to be before our time, before any of it's proven that Sumeria is the first civilization, that they allow us to learn, and these tablets are showing that Sumerians already knew about 7 planets. So logically, something came from another world. You tell that to an atheist that just doesn't want to believe. Now all of a sudden, logic doesn't make sense. They become like the Christians, And don't mean no disrespect if you're a Christian, but you guys come at us, and so we got to defend ourselves. And that's another reason why I recommend every neo-pagan, and every New Ager read this stuff, or any person that the awakening community reads this, because they're going to come at you and say that, oh, you're doing evil work, and no, we're not. No, So now that you know that King Anu is Satan and Saturn, if you are a kid that farted on Santa's lap, kudos to you. So, anyways, that's pretty much it. I can't stress enough how fascinating this is. And I'm trying to think, is there anything else I need to cover? 'Cause I know I'm going to post this and I'm going to be like, oh, I forgot to say this. But, yeah, I think that's it. Don't be afraid to be yourselves. Keep doing the research. Definitely read the Sumerian tablets. I might have missed something. I might have. I pretty much did tell the story, but I might have not have told it in the same order. But what I did tell is in these tablets, and also Spirit Science have did a segment or a video on these stories. So if you don't want to go buy the books, go on Spirit Science. They have them. So it is the time to really strengthen your knowledge, just overall knowledge, and also if you got those Christians trying to come at you, also wait, well, yeah. So in every culture that they do have the reptilian story where they came and created mankind. The Mayans, they're called different stuff. The Mayans call them, in Aztec call them the iguana men. The Hindus called them the Nagas. Said that they say reptilians, they love the underground sewers and all that stuff. They say they govern mankind. They controlled us from under the sewers. Stories of a Naga appeared in the Buddha story I heard. So in the Buddha, there's a book about the Buddhas. I don't want to call them scriptures, but they say that even the gods die, but they live for aeons. So this is not the only story, and they say I remember there was a story in Japan about a water god creating mankind. So this is not the only story of this, but this is the first one. And yeah, expand your knowledge. Knowledge is power. And if you learn anything, if I just shot you to a new direction, I'm glad I did that. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and leave a comment below. Let's talk about this. If you want to, either here or on my Facebook, for those that have my Facebook page. So anyways, Zachariah Ascension, however, is a shady character. He's pro Enki. It's going to be another reason why you might want to think before you summon Enki, because Zachariah Ascension is a shady character, and there are other shady characters that claim to be on our side, like Alex Jones and Jake Angeli, and I'll get to that in my next video. It's going to be probably entitled "Who Can You Trust?" So stay tuned for that. I'll catch you guys later. For those in New England, got that snowstorm. Please drive safe. Okay? Talk to you later. Peace.